Good evening. Duterte power always will support President Duterte, do the right thing and get well, Tatai. Be always strong. I know you're going through some bits and pieces and your life and the stress and your health. So, but always try to look after yourself really good. And I can see on this video, I'm just watching you and I can see you feel tired and I can see you feel sad also, and you're hurt for the way of you trying to do work hard and the best thing for our country and our Filipino people. They are so ungrateful and they think everything what you're trying to do is really bad, and which is very hard to change our people, really hard for them to change. For their mentality, the way of thinking is crazy. I cannot say not everyone, but it's half of it. Our Filipino people is really messed up. One, they don't want to change in anything. They like the way they live. They like the way of what they're doing at the moment. They like the way of doing the corruption bits and pieces, and they like also taking this kind of shibu drugs, and this has been going on for a long time. Even if you're trying to stop this, only one man is very hard to do. Even if you are the president of the country, it's so many places to be controlled, and it's so many people to be controlled also, which is hard. And especially we have enforcements and people hire on the enforcements like police and chiefs and people, MPs and things like that, which they will not want to change. They're going against everything. So even we thinking some of the corruption is gone. No, they don't. They are still working the same. They are still in the offices. They are working the same. They're still doing corruptions inside the offices. They are still doing corruption still, barangays. They are still doing barangays. They're dealing with drugs, and they're drug lords. Most of them is barangay captains, and also people who works in government offices. They are still the ones in corrupted, because if you want papers, you still can pay them to get your papers. You still can, being bribed easily. And even police, you can bribe it easily still. You still can give them money and then they still accept it, and then whatever. I know that I just come from home. Like I said on the previous videos, I've been having some problems. So I've been back home. So it was my first time to deal with the law back home, and to deal with the office from the Register of Deeds, which is still a lot of corruption inside the Register of Deeds. You cannot believe it. And then it's only one person working in the inside for so many cases. Only one person in one case. And then I was explaining in the other videos, if that person goes on holiday or something, those papers will sit there for months and months and nobody will touch them except until the other person comes from vacation. But anyway, most of this video also I wanted to talk about, it was our president. I was watching him just now, and I am about he's talking about the invasion of the Spanish when we get into Philippines and so on. I know most of the history also about Philippines and Magellan and everything. Magellan, he was not a Spanish person, he's a Portuguese. Magellan is Portuguese, not Spanish. The only thing, Magellan, he was working with the Spanish because Portugal and Spain, they working together at those times of war, because Portugal was what most of advanced with everything, ships and stuff like that, and then the Queen of Portugal is the one which more advanced. Then Portugal and Spain, they become to work together and advancing through all of the world and things like that. Columbus is the one who discovered America. Columbus is the Portuguese guy. And Columbus, he was the one who said to the Queen of Portugal, he's discovering America before the Spanish become to know it. Then yes, we have to stop blaming the Spanish and then forcing religion in the country and this and that. I don't see a bad thing. Everywhere is about religion and this and that. We shouldn't be fighting for anything about religion. And past is past, and we should continue into the future, not into the past. So I know our president, every speech he has, and he talks about it and things like that. And So before the Spanish come in, it was Muslim law and this and that, and then the Spanish forced it, and the Christianity and Catholic and all that stuff. That's how history is. That's how it's supposed to happen. Only God knows how it is and why it is and how it's supposed to be. The world's supposed to be like that, and we have to get over it. Now we should look forward, for future, and so stop this drugs and corruption into our country. The problem is a big problem, which our president is doing most of it and is pushing, but also we are very short of police in our streets. We are very short of funds. We put in funds for building, but how can we get rid of corruption if we don't put money into law and order and recruiting, police, army, to make our country safer? What you have to do is, we need to recruit more police. We are short of police. We are really short. It's only 500 cases for one police. If this police goes for and leave for 5 days, that cases, it will stay over there on that table, and it was not moving. It's not going, because nobody can do the case of that person until he comes back. So there's nobody else taking cover for that guy, because I know it, because I was there. I had done all this, and I couldn't believe it. So, but we are short of police. We are short of army. We are short of everything. But we going into build. We have a lot of things of building. We had a lot of things, money into, yes, that's great. We have money spent for coast guards, spent for ships and all that kind of stuff. That's great. Brilliant. But we need much more police. We need police with radio. We don't have. Our police doesn't have even a radio to communicate with each other from one side to another side like we have everywhere. We need to have that kind of system in place right now, not later, not whatever. We need that system right now. So our president has to see, and you have to understand, for us to start cutting corruption, we need being communication. We have to have communication with police from different places. And we need also the equipment to support our police. We need police to patrol our streets day and night. We don't have it. Most of what I see the police is doing, do you know what they are doing? They are inside most of police, they're inside the police station, doing like this, watching TV and news and having a chat. And then people there waiting to be seen, and they're just doing whatever they're doing. I see our people, they're getting fat. Our police people, they're getting fat. Why? Because they have their own kitchen. They are provided food. They're eating so good, so well. When you pass your training, when you pass all this, your police life is so good. It's really good. It's a very good job, because they don't do nothing. For you to do something, it's very hard. Who cares? It's nothing being done. And that's what I see it. Barangays, they go, they do whatever they like. They work, they're getting paid, but they're doing their own jobs. They're doing their other things. They're doing this and that. So, how can we control our country? How can we do things? And it's really impossible to do this. So it's really hard to do anything and to control our country, and then all the corruption is still going. How can we, improve it? We need more police. Right now. 4 years. You have to take a course for 4 years to be a policeman. You don't have to take a course for 4 years to be a policeman. For you to be, to arrest, to do a job on the street, to see what is right, what is wrong. You don't have to waste 4 years. I could say probably a year, 2 years, study for it. Yes, and you can learn in 2 years. Put them to work. We need so many police. If we cannot do it as a police, let's put them as a community police. Still have the power of arrest. If you see anything wrong, if you see anything going on, which is not supposed to. Illegal guns, which you don't have no license for it, you don't have nothing People shouldn't be allowed to carry any guns if you don't have license for it. But a lot of people do. And they're moving around with motorbikes, with gun, and not even police can go and say confiscate it or arrest it or take names or anything like that. There, they don't take your name, they don't take anything, they just confiscate it, this and that, they just let you go and everything, and that's it. Paper processing is very hard because also they don't have no computers. Our police people, they have only one computer for each table, and everyone has to work on that computer to do whatever they have to do. We need a better system, you know, and we concentrate in yes, that's great, we concentrate in drugs, and we put in money in this and that, and we also put in building. But at this moment in time, this is wrong of doing the building. We need what is more important, to be controlled to our country to come out of corruption. The first thing to be doing it is law and order. Get your group correct. Get the people what is supposed to be done, control and patrol the borders and patrol everywhere. We have Coast Guard now, brilliant. The only problem is still we don't have police on the street. We don't have not enough police. We need much more. We need the equipment for our police to work good, to do their job good. Plus we need a captain which is strict for their people to do their work. But over there it's so laid back. It's like you're in holiday camp. I cannot believe it. They eat so good. They just stand around. They have some arrests here, some arrests there. And then, you know, some people, they go to jail if they catch you right there and then. But if they cannot catch you, but if you have a suspect, he's the suspect, and all kind of stuff. And sometimes you have the proof. You still have to go and get a court arrest for you before you arrest the guy. By the time you get the court arrest, that guy already disappeared all over the Philippines. And you don't have no chance to catch them, because by the time you're going to do that, some people is going to tell them they're coming for you like this, like this, like that, and you disappeared. So our criminals disappears. So yes, but we still have a lot of shibu moving around. Like I said a while ago, behind my compound, people, they're still dealing with a lot of shibu. The Nigerians, they're the ones supplying the shibu. Not only Nigerians, others also. 2.5 million. And much more than that, 10 million it was going on in my own place. And it's still going because they're still distributing. And nothing has been done. I call, you know, how do we call it? The NBI are called, and I give them information and all kind of stuff. They're supposed to respond in 3 days to myself, and then they give me the reference number. Until now, the NBA hasn't replied to me. The only thing they done, they investigated and they caught the barangay captain, which I'm happy with. But it's still, because the barangay captain is the main leader, but he still has another leader, and he hasn't been caught in anything. But anyway, it's just how we're gonna survive in our country. It's not just building. First of all, what we need over here in our president is law and order, and we don't have this law and order. We don't, because we don't have enough police. We don't have enough coverage. So how are we going to deal with this? How can our president achieve this in 6 years? Cannot achieve this in 6 years, and they cannot do it. And they are waiting for him to go, because if our president, anything happens to him, our country is going back to the same shit. And the corruption, it'll be a snap, because there's so many people in our government, you know, still doing it, and still continue, and still allowing drugs coming into our country. It's only now they just changed the Coast Guards and everything, because even the Coast Guards, they were allowing it, they were in it. The big people who's allowing shibu to come into our country is the big people who works in government and has power in police and control of the seas and control of everywhere, is the big people. How can we catch them? Our president just catch one of them, which is like 6.8 billion of shibu. That's a huge amount of money coming in through our country. Through what? Shipment, through Coast Guards. 6.8 billion of shibu. Can you believe that? And who's doing this? Our government. So how can our president control this? Even he has control of some army and he has control of some people, but still those kind of people, you never know who's who, and letting still the the shibu coming into our country. So this is a big fight, and we cannot win this war without having the proper and biggest army around our country. We need much more police and army right now. Let's not just concentrate in building, waste almost of the money in the equipment we need for our police to be control our borders, our place, and to get rid of this corruption government. Our president is only one man who's trying to do a huge job, but 6 years, no way. For now, the Duterte power also support our President Duterte, do the right thing, and get well, Tatai. And I hope for the best for you. I love you and I care for you a lot, and I admire you very, very much for your spirit and your willing to help our people in our country. Take care. Bye bye. God bless.